Hello and good morning and welcome back. Let's take a look here. Today we're multiplying and dividing. You will have a worksheet. Remember, your homework for week 4 is due. Make sure you show work or you will not get credit. And make sure it's one file. Go on YouTube and figure it out or contact a friend. On my website, you will find how to upload Microsoft Lens and how to use it, but you can Google that as well. Chapter 5 tests will be open for those who have a 0 from Friday to Sunday. All right, let's take a look here. Here we're multiplying. Remember, when you multiply, you can reduce. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9, 3, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4, 2. 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. That's it. This one right here is division. If you reduce when it's division, you will miss it. So you have to keep, change, flip first. When you do that, we're going to keep that one, we're going to change that, and we're going to put 4 over 9. Now you can try to reduce, but it doesn't look like anything on the top reduces. So it's just going to be 8 over 27. Okay, make sure you know how to divide and make sure you know the rules. Let's go on. This one right here is times. In order to do times, you have to factor. This one right here is going to factor as x, and then let me think about this. 6 times 6 is 36. We don't want that because we have to subtract to get that. So take 36. A negative and a negative yields a plus and a minus. So you're going to be subtracting to get a 5. That's what we want right here. So 1 times 36 is not going to work. 2 times 18 subtracts, but not to give you 5. 3 times something. 3 times 12, I think it is. That subtracts to give you 9. It's got to be 4. Let's see here. 4 times 9 is going to be your answer right there. Okay, so you're going to put a 4 and a 9. You're going to put a minus. You want a minus in the middle, so you want a minus with the bigger one, and just like that. Okay, remember to check your outer and your inner, make sure it works. This one, you're going to take out a 3 and an x squared. When you do, you're left with an x plus 4, I think that is. Okay, so now you can reduce. So the x plus 4 cancels. Okay, the x minus 9 cancels. You have 2 x's here and 2 x's here, so that cancels. And then 3 goes into 45. Well, 3 goes into 4 once, okay, with 1 left over. I think it's going to be 15 should be your answer for that. Okay, let me get my calculator here. I think I loaned it to someone, so I want to go ahead and it off here. All right, so let's keep moving so we can get this done. Okay, so on this case, the last one here is division. Now this is a real wing-a-dinger here. Okay, so look, I think there's a 2, so you got to take a 2 out of this one. So take a 2, and you're going to be left with 5. Let me think about this. 5b squared, half of that is a 21, I think, b, and then half of that is 18. Okay? All right, so on this bottom one, you can take a 2 out. So you're going to have, let me think here a minute, you're going to have 3b squared minus b minus 30. And then this is division, so you want to flip it. So down here, let me think, it doesn't look like anything comes out. So we're going to put it at the top. This one right here looks like you can take out, I think, a 4. It might be something bigger, but let's take a 4 out. So that gives me 10b. And if you take a 4 out of that, you're left with a 1 and a 2, so that's a 12. It looks like we could have taken out another 2 here. So if you take a 2 out, that's actually 8. So we should have taken an 8 out. All right, so let's take a 2 out of that. So that's 5b plus 6. 40, and 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, so that's how that factors right here. And remember, you had to flip it. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now what we need to do is factor all of this. Okay, so what you're going to have up here is 2, and then you're going to have to factor this. Here you're going to have a 2, and you're going to have to factor this. We could actually just get rid of that 2. All right, anyhow, on this one you got to multiply and you got to factor. Okay, and then down here it's already factored. All right, I'm only going to factor one of these, so take a look just as a review. So you have to do 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, multiply these two, remember? And then a negative and a positive gives you 2 negatives. So you're going to be adding to get a 13. So let's see what that is. So that's 3 times 10 is going to give me that 13. So what we're going to do is substitute for all of that. So you're going to have 3b squared plus 3b plus 10b plus 10, and then you got to do group factoring. Okay, so these right here are actually the harder ones to factor. So you're going to take out a 3b here, and so you're left with b plus 1. Here you're going to take out a 10, and you're left with b plus 1. And then now you take out the b plus 1, and you're left with 3b plus 10. Those are the harder ones, okay? So this problem right here requires a lot of work. So if you know how to factor, you're in good shape. All right, your worksheet for today, and I do have a worksheet, and it looks like this. Okay? And I'll try to upload it to Canvas. If it doesn't upload to Canvas, you will have to use the video. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to my computer, but I did let the office know, and hopefully someone can help us. All right, anyway, let's keep moving. Let's talk about geometry. All right, let's take a look here. We're in week 4, if you can believe that. And your homework is due for week 4. All right. And if you need any worksheets or anything, you're going to have to go to the videos. For some reason, it's not letting me upload to Canvas like I used to, but I have been uploading it to the comments. Chapter 7 test, if you have a 0, you have from Friday to Sunday, okay? If not, you're going to have to wait till the end of the marking period. All right, look at here. Look here. It says name a ray opposite to BD. Well, BD, let me make some color here. BD starts here and goes this way. So that's the ray. So the opposite ray will start at the same point and go from B to E. Make sure you know that it's ray BE. Okay? And the end point comes first. Even though it might look weird to you, that's the way it is. Name angle 1. Angle 1 is angle DBC. So angle DBC, or you can go backwards, CBD. Remember, an angle requires 3 points. A line requires 2 points. Okay? All right, let's talk about today's work on a new sheet of paper. Try that one. All right, remember we talked about Sohcahtoa. So the first thing I should see when I pick up your homework this weekend is a dot. And then I should see the hypotenuse across from the 90. Okay? And then the opposite over here. And then the adjacent is the one that touches the dot. So now that I have it labeled, I want X and Y. Okay, so if I want to go after the X, I'm going to be using opposite. And I don't want to mix it with the Y, but I'm going to use this one, which is the hypotenuse. So I'm looking for a trig function that has an O and an H. An O and an H is the sine. So put the sine of angle 10, or 10 degrees, is equal to. Now remember, the last one goes on the bottom. So the hypotenuse in this case would go on the bottom and the x would go on the top. Now you have to be able to work that one out. Okay, and I'm going to work them both in a minute, but let me do the y. The y is adjacent, and I want to use the hypotenuse. Okay, I want to use these two. So the adjacent and hypotenuse on this one is cosine. So put the cosine of 10 degrees. And the formula says the a is on top. So my a here is this one. So put y over 8. Okay, so here you just need to multiply by 8 and you'll have your answer. Over here you're going to multiply by 8 and you're going to have your answer. Make sure you put the 8 in the front, because if you put your 8 back here, it might multiply the 8 and the 10. We don't want to do that. So get your calculator out. Let's take a look here. So I clear my calculator out. I take 10, I press cosine times 8. So you should get 7.9. I'm going to round that off. Let me use a different color. And I'm looking, and we'll use green. So this one is going to be, the answer is going to be approximately 7.9. Now, if you didn't get that, you need to ask why. Also, if you look, it should say DEG on there. If it doesn't say DEG, it's in the wrong mode. So this one you work backwards on my calculator. So you're going to say 10 sine times 8, press equals, and I get 1.4. Make sure that's what you get. All right, so today's work is actually going to be a worksheet. Now, again, if you don't have the worksheet, you'll have to use the video until I can upload this again. Okay, so your assignment for today is 9. We're going to skip 1 through 8 for now. I'm not going to teach you that. Okay, so you're going to have 9 through 24. Okay, so here's the video in case you can't access this at home. There it is. All right, well, have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.